Yo, so I ended up doing a simulation of the Cold College football playoffs, and you're gonna see exactly how it happened. I'm gonna keep it authentic because the last two games, for some reason, my air card didn't record, so I'm gonna tell you who won in that game. And as you can see, also I ended up having to record over my recording because the Elgato, for some reason or whatever happened, my audio was like not with the video. It's kind of delayed. So what you're seeing is going to be all the video you're seeing is not me talking now. That's just me. I'm talking over. I've voiced over everything here. I was trying to do it live, but since the audio messed up, I have to do it like this. So we're gonna get into it. Let me know if y'all got it right. If you get the team right, who you think's gonna win? You think gonna win the real playoff? We're gonna get right into it. Yeah, that's it. Yo, so I simulated the college football playoffs. I seen my damn audio was delayed, so I have to voice over this damn thing. Man, if you new to this, if you seeing this, drop a like. 'Cause I put a lot of. Took about an hour to record this whole thing, but so we started off with Tennessee and Ohio State, and the playoff thing. If you drop a name, who you think is gonna win this in real life, who you think won this simulation, who you want to win. So I already know who's gonna win, and we come out here and we start off. Man, we get up and we do the simulation. Ohio State takes a big lead over Tennessee. They go 10-0. Tennessee starts to come back. They get it tied to 17-17, but then they pull away again, and pretty much Ohio State is going to win this game. This blew the hell out of these niggas, blew the doors off of them, and Ohio State's gonna move on. So we are going to simulate the player of the game was Will Howard. He had 337 yards, and I didn't see the stats on all of these after these. After the next game, I ended up simulating to look at the stats. So we'll look at a lot of the stats after the teams win. But Ohio State moves on. So the next game we're gonna go into is Texas and Clemson. That's the next one, I believe. So, yeah, we did look at a few. I thought I was trying to look at the damn scores and shit. But yeah, Texas and Clemson is gonna be next. I tried to put a little graphic on the back there, but it shit didn't work. But anyway, Texas and Clemson. This one, everybody pretty much. If you a betting man, you bet your money on Texas to beat this team, right? But I don't know about Quinn Ewers at times. The dude is kind of iffy, and is Manning could should they go with Manning? Cause we already know that next year they going with Manning. And I heard that Will might want to come back to school. Well, I mean Quinn, but they said no, we want to go with Manning. So you might as well go to the NFL or transfer. And I'm pretty sure Ohio State will throw some money or something like that. I heard there was interest. But anyway, let's get it. The Texas Longhorns, my Longhorn. I'm a Longhorn fan. So that's who I want to win. If it's not FC, I'm rooting for SMU too because it's gonna discuss for them Texas. But we finna get into this. Let's get into this simulation. Longhorns ready, baby. This I like. Come on, like Clemson. They cool. Could they? I'm glad they did it. This because they knocked Alabama out the damn playoffs. That's the only reason I'm glad Clemson's in it because them beating SMU knocked Alabama out the playoffs. That's all I like. So off to the race here. We're gonna start the simulation here. Um, like I said, man, y'all let me know who do y'all think should win these games. Who y'all think should win the actual championship? Who should have made it? I still got a case that Army should have made it. I think Army still got a case. But anyway, we going off the races, and Clemson took a lead here. That's what was surprising. And then all of a sudden, Texas hasn't. They starting to start off slow. It's 20-13 there. This is surprising. Oh, Clemson up 10, and then they finally take it to 3. It's 10-point game. Texas trying to fight back, but Clemson just keeps scoring and keeping them away, and they beat them by 7, 37. This was a shocker to me because I was like, I don't think Texas is gonna lose to Clemson. Not at least not the Clemson, not in the first round. This it easily could happen. I don't know. Clemson. I haven't watched many of Clemson games, so I don't know what the hell they even uh, really got going for them, offense or defense. But they ended up having a game here, and Clemson pretty much you see the telltale the offense and defensive stats and numbers there. Um, Texas just didn't they just didn't have it this day. They started off slow. A lot of the key to a lot of these games, they start off kind of slow, and a lot of these teams they started off slow, then they don't really just catch up. But a lot of these games are kind of neck and neck and close. A lot of these games are pretty good if they was watchable games from the way the score went. You can see, I'm looking at the stats here, um, and their Clemson quarterback was I think was player of the game. They ran the ball. They said they run the ball. Another stat was a lot of teams who lose wasn't able to run the ball, and that was the key to a lot of these teams losing because they couldn't run. But up next, we had Ohio State there. We see Clemson wins. There's the bracket, and now we got Indiana and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I feel like give me Army over them because look, Army had a better schedule. I mean, not a good, but they had a better record to me. Well, they get the same, but they just they got that better story. They just that center. They didn't lose. They didn't lose to a team that they paid money for to lose to. They paid that North Orange team. That's one of those schools you pay them, and then oh, we're gonna beat you down. We'll pay you a few dollars here, but they ended up losing. So yeah, and then Indiana, they they had that whole undefeated run. Oh man, that run until they went into Ohio State. But I mean, I guess what you can't blame them, but then they didn't play nobody all year until they ran to Ohio State. You can't really just penalize for it. At least they did go undefeated all the way. So if they would have lost 1 or 2 games in their division, whatever, I probably would think they would have not made the playoffs. Um, but this should be interesting to win. Nevertheless, I can see this one going either way, but I don't really think Notre Dame is gonna make any noise when they face like real competition or anybody. So I can see Indiana beating this team. I can see Notre Dame, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens in this game. So bam, off to the races. Notre Dame start off hot, and then they take a tie. Indiana starts to come away 10, 17, 13 now. It's close for a while. Then it's 20-17, but then Indiana takes another lead, 20-24, and the game comes down to the end, and they lose. The Indiana Hoosiers beat Notre Dame. Looked like it was a close game, and Indiana came away with it. Their quarterback was to play the game, 265 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Indiana moves on. So Indiana moves on. Can they? They got a date with Georgia, I believe. I mean, they got to face Georgia. Oh yeah, that's gonna be tough. And then we had Penn State and SMU, which is this would be the most interesting game of the playoffs because we don't know how this game could go. If anybody gives SMU a chance, I like them. That's it. I'm low key pulling for them just because it's SMU, it's Texas thing. They're not that far from where I stay, and just the And I know somebody on the team, our boy McFall. He's the running back, fourth running back on the game. If you look at him, he played for the team we cover on the podcast. We've been covering all last. We talked about him all last year. Literally, he was the best player on that team, and he's going to be over here playing in the college football playoff his first year in the SU. Ain't that crazy? And then we know all about Penn State. Gonna be a tough game, but we're gonna see what happens, man. I I give them a chance. I I give them a chance to beat Penn State. But go off to the races, and SMU starts off slow, gets the lead 10-7, and then 10-10 is a back and forth game right now. Penn State up 13-10 at halftime. It's a low scoring game, but then SMU ties it up. And we're like, can they do it? A field goal here. SMU is gone, but they can't. They keep it close, but a 3-point win from Penn State. They hold them off. And like that big fourth quarter that got them in. Penn State moves on. Played the game was Drew Allure, 3 for 325, 2 touchdowns. It was like it was so close. It was so close though. That Penn State was. I mean SMU. Like I said, I think I have a feeling they have a chance. They can do something. Maybe in this game simulation, they stuck with Clemson. They pretty much should have beat Clemson, and they almost had this game going to play. But if you look at the tape there, I look at the stats there. I think they couldn't run the ball as much as you tried to run. Like Jennings was they were second leading rusher, the passing game. It was just one of them games. They couldn't get nothing going offensively. And then that leaves Ohio State and Oregon. So we already know this was the rematch of the Big Ten championship. Or this was a big game. It wasn't a championship. I don't know. They played before, and we already know that Ohio State lost. And now we about to go and see the rematch. The rematch, and are they up for the task of coming here beating the Ducks this time? Because the Ducks on the roll, and them Ducks said, we don't give a duck. We are the Ducks. And they want to beat Ohio State. Ohio State up for revenge. This definitely will be a good game if it happens. That all depends on if Tennessee takes care of business. But Tennessee, Oregon, I don't know about that. That's a crazy one. Tennessee or Oregon, that's something I've never seen. But yeah, we're in the Rose Bowl. So here we go. We're gonna see how this matches up, how this ends up. Off to the races, kick off, and here we go. The kickoff back, and let's get it. And also, this is the thing. One thing I say about this before, Ohio State. I've always said they've always had some overrated quarterbacks. Hey, thought about this. Think about it. Think about all the quarterbacks that came to Ohio State besides C.J. Stroud right now. And then we off the races though. Bam, bam. Ohio State takes a big lead. Takes the lead though. But then here comes Oregon. They take a lead. They get us 13-7. Nothing's going on right now. And then Oregon takes another lead. They score. They behind each other here. 2-point game. 24-0. Oregon. They are neck and neck there, and all of a sudden, Oregon wins by 2 points. That was a close game there. A 2-point game there for the undefeated Oregon Ducks. They win the Rose Bowl. Ohio State gave them a game. They're like Ohio State's going to win there the first, and then came back. Gabriel 323, 1 touchdown. He's the player of the game. Oh, the player of the game. Most of these games have been the quarterbacks lately. Will that change? I don't know. I think a running back gets to play the game in one of these games, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I like the little few stats there. Gabriel had this stat. He had 11, 20. I thought it wasn't his best game, but he did his job. I think James had a good game, and the receivers had a good game. Like one of them was over 100, and then Ohio State. Will Howard, I believe he had an okay game, and they couldn't run the ball as much. I don't know if that dude with the one that always was popping in the game. I don't think he had got any carries. Kind of think about it, I didn't see his name on the damn thing. That's crazy. He was a fucking. Everybody was complaining about that dude and his damn spin move. But yeah, now we off. I think we're off to the Sugar Bowl, I believe, and that is Clemson who upset Texas against Arizona State. The routine that nobody thought, nobody gave Arizona State any the Peach Bowl in the Peach Bowl. Nobody thought Arizona State was gonna be here. Not in the playoffs, not in the Big 12 championship, nowhere. So this is another team that's just like a Cinderella story type thing. And we off to the races. Like I damn sure didn't give Arizona State a chance. I didn't even know they were not on my radar in the Big 12 at all. But here they are up against Clemson, who just beat Texas. Was another shocker, but we out to the race. Let's see how this go. Arizona State, Clemson. Let's go. Let's get it. And we off. And they take a lead. They're tied the game up. Arizona State, they back and forth right now, but then Clemson takes the lead. Tied up again. It's a back and forth game here, but then Clemson's gonna take away. Look like Clemson's gonna pull it right up. A 2-touchdown lead. Arizona State can't do nothing. Though they do keep a 1 point, or they tied up. 35-35. Might go to overtime? No. Are they going to overtime? No, they win 38-35. Field goal wins the game. That turned into a good one, huh? That turned into a good game. Competitive game. And the quarterback again is the player of the game. 302 yards. 2 touchdowns. The nigga's balling. He's like, Clemson is on this Cinderella road themselves. They done knocked off Texas. They knock off Arizona State. They say we ain't no flukes. We are Clemson. And they say, yeah, we want that title. Could the Clemson Tigers be a legitimate threat to the Oregon Ducks? Because that's who they got to play. They got to play those Oregon Ducks. And we got to know about Oregon. If I look at the stats here, the stats. I think Scatterboo was there, but he didn't. I think he had 95 yards or something like. He's the star player there. I know about Scatterboo because I played. I went to Arizona State in my dynasty or my road to glory, but I ended up transferring to Michigan because we sucked and I kept blaming the players and everything, and that dude Scatterboo just messed my career up though. But anyway, we got Georgia and Indiana. On paper, you look at it, he's like, Georgia's definitely gonna lose this game. In real life, you think Indiana has no chance against Georgia. Georgia can be, they can be iffy at times, but they still Georgia. They still pretty much probably the better team, the best team in the SEC. Just because they beat Texas, beat my Texas Longhorns, we gotta give Texas a second, and Georgia gotta be one. Just for that. I say Alabama could be, I don't know, man. They could be a third or fourth, maybe a fifth, maybe the fifth now. They not the top no more. When you lose to Vanderbilt, you lose all respect. But here we go, y'all. This is the Sugar Bowl, I believe. We're in the Superdome, brother. Like Hulk Hogan said, we're in the Superdome. This is gonna be a good one. Indiana got that win off of Notre Dame. And now they're looking to knock out these Georgia Bulldogs. Can they do it? We finna see. And I've been going, man. This is like I said, this course took me an hour. Took me an hour, and now I gotta sit here and this is about 30 minutes of just voiceover because the video. So I took out 30 minutes of editing of footage into a fucking an hour footage into 30 minutes. I probably should have cut it down a little bit further because there's still a lot of stuff I'm thinking. But here we go. Anyway, Taylor's the tape there. We know the guy, Carson Beck, the quarterback, coming out here, and we're gonna see what the Georgia Bulldogs gonna do. Can they get this win here? And we off. Georgia, Ohio State, they taking Indiana takes the lead, then it's tied up. Indiana takes a 3-point lead. The game's going back and forth a little bit. Slow scoring, but it's low scoring. 17-21 now. 1 point game, neck and neck. Georgia's up now. Georgia's up 28-26. Indiana's coming back. They make a field goal, and Georgia, they go down by 1 point. A heartbreaking loss there. 1 point, and Indiana upsets Georgia. Nigga, Georgia, if that happened, the whole world will flip. That'll be shocking because I don't think nobody has Georgia losing it. At least not in the early round like that. Not in the first round, at least. So that's shocking. Indiana, that's a heartbreaker for Indiana. And I looked at this one. This is kind of crazy because this one ended up kind of like the national championship, the SEC championship game. Because that Gunnar Stockton guy came in the game and played a few snaps in this game, just like the Texas and the game he played in the SEC championship. He came in, so like, man, that's crazy. He ended up the same thing happened in real life, happened here. But I don't see why did he come in. Look, I don't know if they came in just to change the pace or Beck was sucking or something. I don't know. I think he threw some picks, but Stockton threw some picks too, 3 picks or something like that. So yeah, that was kind of interesting because that happened right where Stockton had to come in because Beck was hurt, and he came in this game too. But it looks like turnover. I think it pretty much looked like it was the turnovers that did Georgia in, and I don't think they was able to run the ball as much. And Indiana was the better team today. So they moving on. They're gonna face the winner out of Penn State and who's the Penn State? SMU? No, Boise State. Penn State and Boise. Yeah, this is the one we looking. And winner of this one,
Oregon and Clemson.
Penn State and Boise State was the interesting because we all know Genty, and I was like, let's see, can they simulate how good Genty is in this game? Can he really face some competition and actually win and actually have a good game against somebody like a Penn State? Can he have one of those crazy games? Because he's been just running all over everybody. So this was an interesting one to simulate here to see how they say. Remember, and he like the best running back, rated running back on this game, like 97 overall. So he ain't no slouch. Like he ain't he's the updated Genty. So they gave him some love, and we gonna see. This one right here is interesting too. Whoever Boise State plays is interesting because we want to see, can Genty do what everybody said he was snubbed from the Heisman. I don't think that, but nevertheless, man, yeah, he was good. But a lot of running backs did what he did. Like I said, those two running backs ran for over 2,500 yards in less games back in the day. So he only ran he hit 2,200. So it's not crazy, but anyway, we off to the races. Bam. Boise State takes a 3-0 lead. Penn State comes back and they take a 2 touchdown lead. 21-3. Oh, they are just destroying. Oh, 28-3 is over. They are. But then Boise State tries to fight back though. 14 points, but Penn State got 34, and it's just 41. It's a blowout game right here. It looks like this game was not going to be close. Penn State pretty much handled business against these dudes. That was interesting. That was crazy. They ended up just destroying them. And Drew Lowe was the player of the game. 264, 3 touchdowns. in the Fiesta Bowl. So hey, and all I want to see was okay. How did Genty do? That's what I want to know. I want to look at this stat. See what did this dude do? Because from what that look like, don't look like he did much. Because they just could do nothing. So I went to look at the stats here, and y'all gonna be shocked just like me. We see the passing game here, not much there. But the thing is, you're gonna look at Genty. He didn't run for. He didn't do nothing. He ran for like 23 yards on like 11 carries or something like that. And I'm looking. I think I'm looking here. Yeah, Genty. He just look at 2.4 yards a carry. He ran for like 18 yards. He didn't do nothing. If that happens in real life, then I guess everybody can shut up about Genty being the Heisman Trophy winner. Because if he does that, then that would say that will pretty much put a stamp on that he only did this because he was playing terrible competition, and that might be a case there. But yeah, Penn State will go on to meet Indiana in the championship game. Well, the not champ, but the semifinals, and then we got Oregon versus Clemson here for a chance to go to the national championship. And for some reason, my recording didn't record the last two games, so I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened after this game. But first, let's get to this game. Oregon, Clemson. Clemson knocked off Texas. Then they got knocked off Arizona State. And here they go with these Oregon Ducks who beat Ohio State. And they're ready to go. And this is going to be the Orange Bowl. So let's see how it go. Let's see what they do. Like I said, we did get a win. I don't want to go back and play the game because it might be a different story. So I played it all. Did this all in one day. So I don't want to go ahead and simulate now. Cause it might still be the same, but I want it to be the authentic way that I did it when I got the. So I'm gonna tell you how the shit went after we get this game, cause two games didn't record for some reason. Like I said, I had an hour worth of footage, but here we go. Johnson was the he's the big guy, the guy that was the to look out for. We go for the simulation there, and here we go. Clemson, Oregon. I don't remember how. I think this game ended up being close. Here we go. Clemson. They start off with a lead, 3-0. Okay, tied it up though. Man, it's a close one. It's a low-scoring game right now. Clemson took a lead there, but then Oregon comes back and ties it up. Oregon 3-point lead, but Clemson back in the lead. It's back and forth now, 17-20. Clemson's up. Oregon's up now by 3. Who's gonna do something? Clemson is back and forth, and Oregon wins it, 42-34. It was like that one. Now that game looked like it was pretty good. Clemson gave them all they had, but it wasn't enough because Oregon is going to the national championship, and they're going to face the winner of What is it? Penn State, Indiana, I believe. And yeah, let's see how that. I'm gonna tell you how that shit went when I show you my. I try to do this little thing, this little graphic. You'll see this graphic here, but we're gonna look at the stats there. I think both quarterbacks threw for almost 300 yards, and as you see the stats there. Both quarterbacks, I believe. It's hard for me to see this shit. It's crazy. I see this shit on calculator. The, the video don't look as good as it does when I was watching the damn shit because I can't see, but I still remember. But I do remember some of the game shit down. I don't even know if I remember all the damn game. These next two games, the Penn State game versus Indiana game. That's the game I remember. Vaguely remember some of that shit. But we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it. As look through the stats here, we look through the other stats. I can see that. And here we go. Let's go through this playoff bracket now. Let's try to make sense of this again. All right, so We know that Clemson and Arizona State got the game. Ohio State and Oregon. Oregon beats Ohio State. Clemson beats Arizona State. Over here, we got Indiana, who beat Notre Dame. They beat Georgia. Penn State beat SMU. Then they beat Boise State. Clemson versus Oregon. I don't know why I put Ohio State there. I don't know why I messed up there. It's Oregon. We know that. And then we know that Penn State versus Indiana. Then you didn't see Indiana end up losing it. Penn State won. And then it was those four, which Oregon ended up winning the championship, y'all. Oregon ended up winning it. And that was what happened. Oregon ended up winning the national championship. So if y'all liked it, if y'all ended up was right, put it in the conversation. You picked the right team. Oregon did win. I'm not just making it up. Oregon ended up winning. They won. They beat. It was a Penn State versus Oregon championship, a Big Ten championship. How crazy would that be if the Big Ten ended up being a national title, both Big Ten teams? But yeah, that's what it is, man. We out.